Hi, my name is Jay. I am super pleased to introduce Patrick today to our crowdsourcing promising practices community. And he's actually joining us from Virginia in Clark County Public Schools. And I met him at Innovator Academy, so it's kind of neat to connect again. I asked him what he thinks teaching is like, and he says teaching is like being able to touch the future. Today, he's going to share with us how to create interactive posters using Google Drawings and Google Slides. Thanks for joining us today, Patrick.
Glad to be here. And if we're good, I'll jump right in.
Go for it.
All right, so hopefully my screen is up and you're good to go.
We can see it.
Awesome. Okay, so the first thing is, number one, a couple ways to get to Google Draw. One of those is to come into the land of Google Drive, drop down your More, and then you're going to find Google Drive hiding in there within that list. You can also come out and go straight to drawings.google.com. That'll get you in as well. And if you want to go straight to a new Google Drawing because you know that that's what you want, all you need to do is put create on the end, hit enter on that drawings.google.com/create, and you'll be launched straight into a new Google Drawing. I'm going to go ahead and bring up a few examples so you can see what's happening in some of them and how you bring content in, how you make that content interactive. And we'll go ahead and jump into some of those. And these are not created by me for the most part, and I'll point out people that they're made by as we go through. But here's a Google Drawing that is made by Matt Miller, and that is at @jmattmiller on Twitter. And if you're familiar with Ditch That Textbook, that will be the one and the same person. And you can see so far, right now we have some text, we have pictures, we have some links and things built in. All of these things are fairly easy to create and bring in. Text is easily done by the text box at the top, just like you would in slides. You would click, drag your box, type in your text. One of the things you do want to look at, especially in the land of text, is make sure you come into the font list and check out the more fonts. You'll have tons that you can choose. And when you actually bring up the box, you'll have a whole lot more in a scroll bar that keeps going for days. So tons of different text options. And then of course you can drag it around wherever you want it to go. And you can use the little ball at the top to spin it and go ahead and make it any direction that you want it to be. Pictures you can bring in easily through the insert menu. Once you get to image, and apologize for some of the lag on my side, you're going to get options to upload from the computer, search the web, or you can bring in things from Drive. See if it'll work for me here. Try it one more time. But the box that I want to bring up is the one that is search. And the nice thing about that is it'll begin when you bring it up to at least look like a regular image search. All of these images, though, are going to be curated for you to be used in essentially a copyright-free or open for reuse with commercial, or for commercial and also with modification. So all of these you can drag right in, drop in, and then of course, when it comes in huge, like our picture of Abe Lincoln we have here, just grab that picture, pull it down from the sides, and do your thing. The other piece that these images don't have within this drawing are going to be your insert link at the top, and then you can link that out to any website for more information. Maybe hide a link if you're doing something like a digital breakout. All of the links you see here were essentially just typing in the text. Then you would hit the link icon at the top. And to show you what that looks like on this side, all we would do is paste in that link. And we'll just make it google.com for this one. Hit apply, and that's going to change and be usable, easily clicked by the kids. Some other examples, maybe you're thinking in the world of comics, anything like that. Again, you can see a lot of this is pictures brought in and also picture in the background. One of the things that not everybody catches as they go through, if you look at the very top, you have the shape tool. Almost every one of these shapes that you see within here, especially the callouts, particularly for this comic, if I draw one of these, it doesn't necessarily look like it's a text box right away, but any of those shapes you grab draw out, you can double click and that becomes a text box that you can then put in. You can put links in, you can change the fill color, you can change the border color, change the font, make it exactly what you want it to be for the kids to kind of interact with and do their thing with. Some other things that you can do, think about things like infographics. And again, we looked at bringing images in, how you do text. Most of these pie charts, things like that, are just bringing in different shapes, putting those in, and then putting a text box in on top. One of the things to point out with this, and this is an example that comes from Alice Keeler, you'll see at the bottom, and she does the website Teachers Tech. But notice that you can use the space on the sides to give examples, give some examples of clip art, maybe bring in directions in that side. And even when you share this out, that's going to stay there for the kids to use. They can drag and drop from the sides to kind of give themselves a template to work with and go ahead and copy and paste and do their thing on that side. Another example of an infographic, this is just a template that has different things linked in, and you'll notice you can actually link in charts from the land of Excel. And in this case, it would be Google Sheets. And that's going to be coming in through the insert and then the chart. And it will actually link directly to that sheet. So if you update the Google Sheet, you can then click update here. And that infographic is now up to date with the latest chart and graph. This is the example one of those. And I'm sure we can put some links in maybe the description of the video for you guys to get to some of these. This is a template that last one started in. And then finally, another one taking it kind of a different direction, still kind of an infographic, but this one is much more about like a book. What would you rate it? Kind of a book review type of thing. And you can see you can bring in all kinds of different pictures. Think about things like the Noun Project for bringing in different icons and graphics that way. And there's a ton of different resources out there as far as making these ones that you can jump out to like these and just do file, make a copy, and kind of start off running from there. One of the things that none of these have in them yet is something that's kind of a little bit of a workaround, or what some of us might call a hack, to bring in a video into some of these. So I'm going to actually jump back to the first one, and I'm going to show something else that's very nice for these as far as getting some more real estate. Number one, you can drag from the corner to make your canvas bigger if you want, but you can also, just like you can in slides, go to File, Page Setup. And if it's not already there, you may already be on 4.3 or 16.9. You can come down into Custom, and maybe you know that the biggest thing you can print on at your school is legal size paper, so you want that to be 11 by 17. So you may have to come back in, maybe adjust some of your fonts and move some of your content up. With a side note of moving it up and down, if you select it, you can just use the arrows. If you hold Shift and then use the arrows, you're going to get almost by pixel adjustments to bring things in. Then what you're going to need to do as far as the video, number one, jump out to the land of YouTube. Go ahead and grab a video URL that you want to use. And this is a good one, especially for this, because this is a 14-minute video Matt Miller did about interactive posters with Google Drawing. You're then going to jump into really a slide deck of your choice, and you can create a completely new one for this. And you're going to go up to Insert, then you're going to come down to Video. Go ahead and do by URL since we have that. If you needed to search, you do have that option there. Go ahead and insert the video that you want. You're going to go ahead and do one of two ways. Either right click and do copy, or click it and do Control-C. Pop back over to the drawing that you're working on. Go ahead and paste it in. And you now have a video that with a click is going to play right inside Google Drawing, which is not a feature in that insert menu of Google Drawings. What you do have here, just to point it out before we jump out of this and get close to wrapping up, is the fact that you do have word art in here. So anybody that comes from the land of Microsoft and is missing one of the things that you couldn't do in other lands of Google, you do have word art in here where you could come in, go ahead and bring in a piece of word art. And maybe you want that to replace the title that's there. And you can then change up the color, change the outline, change the font, whatever you want to do to make that work. And then Now you have word art and a little bit carrying over from the land of Microsoft. One of the last pieces to make this something that you can kind of hand out, or if you're having the students create this, which I've done all the way down into the elementary levels, is you're going to come up and make sure, number one, in your share settings, you're going to click on share, grab advanced, go to change, go ahead and hit anyone with the link. And now that that is set, you can go ahead and, if you don't know this trick, I'll go ahead and pop up this. This comes from Tony Vincent's Learning in Hand blog, and it's a little trick you can play with the URL to make it a preview page instead of the live view. So what we're going to do is come up to the top part here, and where that says the word edit, we're going to go ahead and change that to the word preview. We're going to highlight the whole link, go ahead and hit copy. I'll pop open another tab, go ahead and paste that in. And now you can see, I see the same Google Drawing the same way that I saw it, but now I have no editing tools at the top. But each one of these links is something that I can click and have all that content instantly work in a nice interactive way, and something that's very easy to create in the land of Google Drawing. To get that out to students, you can use that same URL at the top, take it into something like Bitly to shorten it, or go ahead and post it to your website, Google Classroom, whatever you use. And in case anybody was wondering, a further connection into the land of slides, you can also create these in the land of slides. It works very similar to the way it would in drawings. You also have that page setup custom option in the land of slides to change the sizes there. And you can also do the preview hack for your URL to get them instantly into the slideshow without the editing tools. And this is a digital learning kind of collaboration piece and different tools to use. And this comes from Tom Spall at Tommy Spall. He's out of Texas. This is another great resource and another way that's kind of a choice board for a creation project with kids, but another way to kind of spin it basically a whole nother direction and go as deep in as you want. And my assumption is we've probably gone deep enough at this point that that's a whole lot of Google in a short stretch of time. But hopefully everybody's picked up at least a little bit.
Patrick, that's awesome. No, you hit the nail on the head. I need to go back and watch this video again because my mind's like this right now, and it's in a good way. In a good way. Something I really that you brought up is using Google Drawings and similarly with slides to create infographics, and it's kind of a way to tap into some of the newer digital literacies that we're asking our students to use when they're sharing their thinking, inserting charts and graphs. That's someplace I need to go. But yeah, that hack about getting videos from slides copied and pasted into a drawing, that's kind of a game changer. So
Jake Miller is a great person there that has a really nice GIF that sums that up in just a few seconds.
Very cool. Well, thank you, Patrick, for adding a perfect bite of PD to our community today. And viewers, thanks for learning with us. Keep those nominations coming in and help us make sharing contagious.